Hi everybody, my name is Jim and welcome back to another episode of Make Do Mondays. So it's actually a Make Do Sunday for me. This is the day before I'll actually be releasing this video, but I was really figuring, I know I said in my Saturday video when I planted my garlic that I wasn't going to do this, so surprise! It was kind of a last minute decision, but I figured everything that I was kind of doing today was very make-do-ish, so I thought I might as well just get the camera out and get what I need to get, and hopefully it will be some help to you guys. I've got kind of a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm doing some laundry, which is really all about this video. And I'm baking bread right now because I just realized that I was out of bread. So I've got, you can't see it, it's out of shot, but well, I'll turn you over. I've got my Westinghouse roaster. Okay. Can you see it? See the little red light on it? All right, that means it's on. That's preheating right now. And then over here on the stove, I've got my dough that's on its first rise. So I thought during this first rise, I could really just do this video. It's not terribly complicated, and it's very make-do in its own way. So without further ado, this episode is all about making your own laundry, clothes laundry soap, okay? If you're gonna wash your clothes. Now, this is not something that's, brand new. People have been doing this for, good grief, I don't know how long. So, I have been using this soap for a very, very long time, and people are always asking me how I get stains out of my clothing, and I've actually taken care of some stains for people and things like that, and it's really, really simple and really, really cheap. And the reason why I bring up the whole, money aspect of it is because prices are going up right now. Okay, you go to the store and you want to buy some liquid laundry detergent, and it's getting expensive. Okay, so I thought, you know what can I show my friends out there that would be cost effective and, easily, readily available? And this may be particular to the United States. I'm not sure if you guys have these products in anywhere else, in the world where you're watching from. These are definitely items I know they sell in the States. You may be able to find them elsewhere. You may be able to find them on Amazon, although I hate Amazon. Terribly convenient though, isn't it? But anyways, I picked these up at a local hardware store actually, but you can get these items at supermarkets and things like that. So the first and the main ingredients that I'll be using is a bar of Fells Naphtha. Okay, this soap has been around for over 100 years, and it's great for everything. You can use it for everything. Okay, it has a very high, I don't want to say it's a lye content, but it has a very high amount of that washing agent in it, and it's very pleasant smelling too, very clean. But Fells Naphtha has been around for over a century, and this stuff works so well. It really, really does. This is my main stain treating, item that I use. And I'm just going to open it up so you can see what it looks like. Now, this bar was, I think, about $1.50. So that's relatively cheap. And it comes in this nice little waxy paper. And then when you take it out, it just smells very, very clean. Fels naphtha can be used for stains. It can be used for laundry. I've known some people to use it for cleaning your skin if you get in contact with either really sticky stain thingies like oil, motor oils, or I know it works well for Christmas tree sap. I've used it for that. But I also know that this is a really great soap to use topically if you are if you have an encounter with, or if you have contact with poison ivy or any of the poison plants out there, that will give you a, some kind of a topical dermatitis. So you use this soap to wash all of that volatile oil off of you. It really, really works. So, if you're picking around in your garden and you happen to rub up against poison ivy, if it's there, you didn't see it, immediately come into the house. You use some Fels naphtha. I've got bars of these everywhere. You use it to take the oil off, and then you won't break out into a nasty rash. But again, primarily I use this as a stain remover. It does a really, really great job as a pre-treater. So say I've got, it's a really hot day at school and I'm wearing a nice dress shirt, and you take the shirt off and you've got a little ring around the collar. I literally just take the bar, I wet the material, I take the bar, and I just rub it on there, okay? I rub it on there, and I make sure that I get a really good lather on it. And then I'll just kind of, work the material together to get it really, really sudsy and really start to break up that dirt and that oil. And then I'll leave it, and then I'll just throw it in the wash when it's time for a load to be done. And it works a treat. It works really, really well on tomato sauce, all sorts of stuff. It's great. It's great for oils of any kind if you're trying to get it out. So yeah, so it's about $1.50, really, really cheap. And you can get a lot out of just one bar. I have several bars stocked up, and I'm going to be getting more. So to make this laundry detergent, okay, it's a laundry powder. I'm sure a lot of us are used to using liquids, okay? I've gotten very accustomed to using liquids, and liquids are usually preferred to powders because of buildup, okay? You do not have to worry about buildup with this particular detergent recipe as long as you use the correct amount. You go overboard, then you're going to have problems. Along with the Fels naphtha, you're going to need some kind of a washing soda, and I have a big old container here, good old-fashioned Arm & Hammer, okay, super washing soda. And then you need borax, which is a water softener, okay? This is what's going to help create the suds, okay? It's also a detergent booster, all right? These are both powder form. This, however, is in a bar. So we have to turn this into a powder form. Really, really simple. We combine all three ingredients, okay? So make sure that you have on hand, if you're going to be doing this, a food processor, okay? You can use a food processor. I prefer to use it because it does the job quick and efficiently. Back in the old days, they would use like a cheese grater, okay? But my goal is to make this as powdery as possible. So food processor, and then some kind of a container, okay, that you're going to store your detergent in. Now, I'm only going to make a single batch. I usually do a double batch, which includes 2 bars, okay? But I'm going to show you the single batch and then what it looks like. So I'm going to swing you around so we can get a better view of what I'm doing here. And I'll show you really quick, really easy. And you're going to be saving gobs and gobs of money. Who can beat that? All right, let's get underway. So I have my bar of Fels naphtha here, and I brought a small cutting board out here, and you're just going to take just a plain old knife, and you're just going to chop up the bar. Now the bar is a little bit harder than a traditional bar of soap, so actually bringing the knife through the soap is not very difficult, and it's already starting to, you can see how it's kind of breaking up into nice manageable pieces here. Okay, take your time with this. If you go too crazy, it's going to go all over the place. So I'm really just taking my time here, and I'm just doing tiny little slivers. And it smells amazing. It has that really clean laundry smell. Just watch your fingers, guys. All right. These bigger pieces, I'm just gonna roughly chop up. Okay. Now I'm gonna take my soap here, my Fels naphtha, it's fun to say, and I'm going to just carefully put it into my food processor. There's already quite a bit of powder going on here, so just take your time. You don't want those powdery airborne particulates to, go into the air. You don't want to breathe these in, obviously. Not good for you. All right. I'm gonna load it up on my food processor. And I'm really covering my hand over the chute here. I've got obviously the chute cover on top of it, but I'm really covering my hand over it because the powder can sometimes seep out, so you just want to be careful. Okay, here's the loud part. All right. Now, I'm going to let this settle for just a minute. Okay, you can see how fast it really, how fast it turned into powder. I barely had it on. You don't want to leave it on too long. Obviously, kinetic energy will create heat. You do not want this to get hot, okay? Because then it won't be as fine and powdery as you want it. In the meantime, I've got a measuring cup. It's a 1 cup measuring cup. And I've got my container here. And you're going to be measuring 2 cups of each, the super washing soda here and the 20 Mule Team Borax. Okay, 2 cups of each. And let me tilt you up here. That wasn't quite a cup. It's a little clumpy in here because it's been so humid outside. So I'm just gonna break this up a little bit. And I'll just go a little over for this one. Okay. Now I will do the same with the borax. I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a squeeze to break it up. Yeah, it's really clumpy, guys. Good heavens. All right, I need to take care of these clumps, guys. I don't want to do this on the video. Let me take care of the clumps and we will come right back. Okay, I'm back. You can see how clumpy this is, and I'm not digging that in the least, okay? We want this to be a fine powder. So I think what I'm gonna do, I've let this, the Fells Naphtha rest, okay? I'm gonna add, it's still a little dusty. You can see the dust rising a little bit, but you can see the consistency is literally a powder, okay? I'm gonna dump this in. Yes. So I have all three combined, and usually this would be the last step. I would give it a really, really good mix, and then I would call it a day, okay? But I don't like the clumps, so I'm going to put this all back into my processor. The whole shebang. And give it a whirl. All right, clumps are now gone. I'm just going to show you a profile of that. Okay, clumps are gone, which is great. Now it's down to a fine powder. Now I'm going to let this rest again for a little bit, okay? Remember, this stuff is kind of caustic, okay? So if you don't let this rest, the dust is going to come up, and then you're going to have a little cough, kind of like I had. So let it rest. I'm going to let it rest, and I'm going to put it into my container, and then we'll have a little chat about how to use it. Okay, the dust has settled, and this is what we have. So this is a 6-quart container. All right, so roughly I would say, I don't know, I have 1 quart of washing detergent, okay, laundry detergent. So directions for this, very, very important that you understand this, okay? Regular loads, all right? So you're putting in a load of laundry that's, you know, you've worn things, they aren't super stinky or, you know, full of stains. Excuse me. 1 tablespoon. Okay, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but you have to remember there's a lot of caustic agents in this, okay? And they're very simple ingredients. They're not like what you would find in, you know, your bog standard laundry, you know, liquid laundry detergent, okay? So the Fells Naphtha obviously has a power to it. The soap has a power to it, okay? So you're not going to need a ton of it. The Arm & Hammer Super Washing Soda boosts that, okay, and adds that extra, you know, quality of wash, okay? So you've got this and this as your main kind of washing agents, stuff that will get into the material and really give it a good clean. And then you have this borax, which is the booster, the detergent booster, but mostly used because it helps to create suds, okay? It's a water softener, okay? The softer the water, the cleaner your clothes are gonna be. My house, unfortunately, has really hard water, okay? And I only know that because of, you know, usually when I'm like boiling water to make, you know, pasta or whatever, or tea, I'm usually seeing, you know, some scaling alongside, you know, the inside of my pan. So my water is really, really hard. So the borax is really, really important. And I've been using borax even with liquid detergent for a while just to soften the water. So all 3 of these put together creates an actual, like a really super duper, you know, cleaning agent. Okay, so 1 tablespoon for a load. Okay, if you have heavily soiled items, 2 tablespoons for a load. Okay, how much is a load? I've got a really small laundry machine, so it's, you know, it doesn't hold a lot. All right, but if you're going to do a full load, I'd say a tablespoon a load. Okay. Heavily soiled things, 2 tablespoons. Like I said, mine is small, and then it works just fine. For those who have the big, huge Mamacita ones, you may consider maybe doing 1.5. Okay, I wouldn't go to 2 unless you have things that are really heavily soiled. Do not go beyond 2 tablespoons, okay? Because then you're going to have to worry about buildup, and you don't want to have to deal with that, okay? 2 at the max, depending on how soiled your garments are, is great. And let's face it, a tablespoon to clean a whole load. That's pretty magnificent. I mean, how many tablespoons are in a quart? I haven't the vaguest idea, and I think I'm going to take a look at that right now. Okay? Good old Google. Let's see what Google says. How many tablespoons in a quart? Okay. Oops, that's not right. Tablespoons. It changed it to cups, and I was like, that's not right. 64! 64 tablespoons in a quart. That means with just 1 bar of soap, 2 cups of each of these, I have 64. 64 loads of soap. Now, if that ain't saving your pennies, I don't know what is. Honest to goodness, 64 for pennies on the dollar. You do not get that much with liquid laundry soap. You just don't. You don't, and you're paying out the nose to do it. So I can only imagine what, 4 pounds, okay, of borax and this plus however many bars of Fels naphtha you will have, laundry soap until you hit retirement. So it's great. One last thing before I say goodbye to you is make sure your food processor, your cutting board, your knives, whatever you use that comes into contact with these products here, you wash them thoroughly. Okay? Those are food products that you are, using. Those are things that you prepare food in. Okay? So I luckily have my vintage KitchenAid dishwasher that's got a sanitary cycle that gets the water up to melt the skin off your bones. So that'll work really, really well. If you are, somebody who hand washes dishes, I would use the hottest water you possibly can just to get the soap out and then wash it again. Give it a good scrub, okay? Don't skip that step. Because this stuff they're chemicals, essentially. They're basic chemicals, but they're chemicals you do not want to cross-contaminate with your food. So make sure that you please wash those things. So yes, there we have it. 64 loads of laundry with 1 bar of soap and 4 cups of the stuff. And the borax and the washing soda is relatively cheap too. You get a lot for very little. So yay for a Make Do Monday. Completely random, but unplanned, but, I'm happy to do it. And I have about 10 minutes before I can punch down my dough, get it formed into a loaf, and throw it into that lovely Westinghouse roaster. So with that, guys, I have to say goodbye. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have these products near you. You can buy them online. Look for them far and wide. They're really, really cheap. If you're over in, the UK or Europe, you may be able to get these things over there. I'm not completely sure. You may find them online, but I'm sure there might be equivalents, okay, to where you are, okay? You may not have Fels naphtha. There might be Zote or something else. That works as well. I just prefer the Fels naphtha. I like the smell of it. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. And I'm dying to get inside of those World War II cookbooks I'm going to be doing so much. I want to do a lot of that Make Do Monday. I want to show you and experiment with some of these recipes, especially as the nights draw and the weather gets poopier and poopier. Today's a really poopy day. It's just been pouring all day. Perfect day to get on with things indoors. Yesterday I went apple picking. I don't know if you can see behind me. I've got all of the bags I bought. I got 2 whole bushels of apples, mostly pie apples, cooking and baking apples. So, okay, time for me to go. Hope you're well, and I guess it'll be a surprise what I do for the next Make Do Monday. This Saturday will be another garden video. I did watch Jane's video today. I'm trying to catch up with everyone's videos. It's really, really been hard. I've got so many that I need to watch. I feel terrible. I will get to them, but I just so happened to run into Jane's video today, Jane Kelly, about her polytunnel, and I was thinking, yeah, I do have to get that polytunnel prepared. Not in the way she did. I have to get it ready for winter, meaning, you know, I've got to get some bracing up and things like that. So I think I think the next video will be a polytunnel video. We'll see. All right. Take care, everybody. I hope you're well, and I will see you all really, really soon. So long.